Hello and welcome to the Cristo Rey Network College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but will be around for the entire session to answer any questions you may have. My name is Jenny and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. However, you can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/Cristo-Rey. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Wesleyan University.
Thank you, Jenny. And hi, everyone. My name is Lexi. I'm an admission counselor at Wesleyan University. Wesleyan is located in Middletown, Connecticut, and we are a liberal arts and sciences institution that was founded in 1831. The heart of our academic experience is our open curriculum, meaning there are no required courses that you have to take in order to graduate. So we really encourage our students to explore all of their academic interests, take any course that fascinates them. And this really aligns with just gaining that liberal arts, that broad background in your education, so that all students who attend Wesleyan are able to think critically, develop relationships effectively, to think creatively about their future and how they'll contribute to their communities in meaningful ways. We can't really place our students in boxes on campus. People are pursuing many different majors. They're involved in many different activities. We have over 200 student-run organizations that range across a wide variety of diverse hobbies and interests. And because we are a big, small school, as we like to say, we have that small, close-knit community of a liberal arts college with the resources of a larger research university. You really have the resources and the opportunities to make your college experience what you envision it here at Wesleyan. Your voice very much matters on campus. And the administration and the staff and the faculty will get to know you and really tend to any concerns you might have and provide any support that you need along the way. With a student to professor ratio of 8 to professor to student ratio, of 8-to-1, and the average class size of about 20 students, you will get to know your fellow students and you will get to know your professors. And one way this manifests is through research opportunities. Wesleyan actually receives the most amount of funding for undergraduate research compared to any other liberal arts college in the US. And you can get involved in research as early as your first year on campus. Your second semester is when most people will start getting involved. And it's a great way to really apply what you're learning in the classroom to real experience. And a great deal of our researchers in the natural sciences are actually published by the time they graduate Wesleyan, which is a really awesome experience. So as I said, we have over 200 student-run organizations. We are also a D3 in the NCAA in terms of college athletics, and that's also a big factor in terms of student support there. We see a lot of students showing up for our games, but if athletics are not your scene, we also have the Center for Fine Arts, which hosts a lot of theater productions, gallery openings, performances, singing and dancing. So there's a little bit for everyone on campus. We have over 80 languages that are spoken on campus as well. So there's a quite a diversity in ways of thinking and where people are coming from and where they're headed. Our Career Center on campus is extremely helpful in allowing students to be able to articulate that liberal arts education and how that's going to be meaningful moving forward. We have a lot of students on internships, working jobs, and our alumni connections are extremely helpful for students finding opportunities as well. In fact, you can even get an internship or get a job in something that you didn't even study, which is a really great opportunity. So the Career Center is something we encourage all students to get involved with as soon as possible. In terms of admissions, I will briefly say that we do practice holistic admissions. And so we're really going to be looking at you as a whole applicant. And we're going to see if you're a good community fit for Wesleyan, if you are academically driven and curious intellectually, if you're compassionate towards others, and if you're passionate about what you're studying and what you're doing outside of the classroom as well. So community fit is very important to us. We are a test optional school. So whether or not you want to submit your ACT or ACT scores is entirely up to you and what you think is best and what your counselors think is best. And you can definitely reference our website to see where accepted students have fallen in terms of scores, but we really want to do whatever is best for you. In terms of financial aid, we do not offer merit or athletic scholarships, but we meet 100% of your financial need that you demonstrate. I very much encourage you to go to our website and look at our net price calculator, fill that out with as accurate as information as you can provide, and that'll give you a really good indicator as to whether or not Wesleyan will be an affordable option for you. But please know if your family earns less than $120,000, you will not be receiving any loans from Wesleyan in your financial aid package. And so we really, through our financial aid packages, try to make the school very accessible. So please ask any questions. I'm happy to answer them. And thank you very much all for coming tonight and for listening.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Reminder to all of our participants to use that Q&A function if you have questions for any of our institutions here tonight. Up next is Fairfield University.
Hello. Just preparing my, let's see if it's gonna work. All right, so my name is Nashira Yates. I am one of the assistant directors of undergraduate admissions at Fairfield. I'm also a Fairfield alum, so I'm really happy to be here with you all today and talk a little bit about Fairfield. So just a little bit about us. We are located in Fairfield, Connecticut. I would say that's about an hour and a half location-wise from New York City. We're not too far for some other major cities as well, such as Boston, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. I would say that we are a liberal arts Jesuit institution, so meaning just a little bit that we are a Catholic university with that strong liberal arts foundation. So no matter if you're a business major, if you are in the College of Arts and Sciences, a nursing major, you're going to be taking our Magis core curriculum. Something special about us being Jesuit educated, things of that nature, that really shows through our student body. We really kind of embody the Jesuit values. I could talk really long about those, but the big thing that I would say about us is a lot of our students, they are always really talking about finding their vocation. What are they called to do and doing more, all of those things that embody the Jesuit education. We are a beautiful 220-acre campus. You will see that we are a beach town. So I would say the beach is about 2 miles away from campus. It's not uncommon from some of our students to get released from their housing contract in their senior year and live off campus at the beach. About half of our senior class does that. We are a small, medium-sized institution. So I'm a numbers person. So I'm going to pull up just a little bit of fast facts about Fairfield. So like I said, we have about 48 800 undergraduate students, and we have about 1,200 graduate level students. I think that can attest to some of our 4+1 programs, meaning that you would get your bachelor's and your master's in a combined 5 years. Our average class size is about 20 students, give or take, and our School of Engineering is a little bit smaller than that. And we are Division I with our varsity athletics. So something that I would say about that is we're super excited to have our women and men's basketball team back on campus. We were playing in the adjacent town, but now our convocation center will be opening up in this fall. We're super excited about that. We also have club and intramural sports as well. We have over 100 different clubs and student-run organizations. So if you're doing something that you're interested in high school, or you are thinking about bringing something with you while you go to college, you definitely can. Not that hard to start a club here, as well as we have over 80 different study abroad locations, and we're represented by 40 states and 45 countries. So that being said, talking a little bit about our 4 schools. So we are separated into 4 different schools. We are separated into our College of Arts and Sciences. This is where most of our majors reside. Our most popular majors within this school would probably be our biochemistry major for our pre-med folks, psychology and communication. Our Charles F. Stolen School of Business is really our most popular. You can come in business undeclared if you were interested in doing that. But something else that's really awesome about that is we just added a sports business major, and most of our students are actually doing internships in the business school. The average is about 2 internships. Our Egan School of Nursing is the only caveat to the rule that you can apply to any major or you can come in undecided, but nursing is our only direct entry program, no separate application. That's just one of our most competitive programs. That one is a direct entry only. And our School of Engineering is our small but mighty school. This is about a 14 average class size, give or take. So a host of different majors and interdisciplinary minors that students can take part of as well. So applying to Fairfield, as Lexi said, and she mentioned about Wesleyan, we do the holistic approach as well. So looking kind of at what you took advantage of in your high school, that's kind of what we look at. Did you take advantage of the things that were offered to you? Your personal essay is the only writing supplement that you would need to send in, and your counselor recommendation is the only letter of recommendation that's required. Some other optional components would be standardized test scores. We're truly test optional. We've been test optional for about 10 years. And your resume, you can definitely send that in if you feel like the activity section did not accurately represent all the things that you've done in your high school career. The interview is a really good way to show your interest and demonstrate your interest to us. So if you are from a little bit farther away, we have some virtual components up on our website as well for this, and we have in-person for folks that are a little bit more local. This is just the average of the class of 2026, average GPA, things of that nature. So the average was about an A-, give or take, taking advantage of the opportunities that were presented to them. And then these are average test scores for the students who sent in test scores. Lastly, I want to talk a little bit about scholarships. So our merit aid ranges from $15,000 to $28,000. You're automatically considered, so your test scores are not required for you to be eligible for merit aid. Something that I really want to highlight, I know I only have a minute left, so I just want to highlight this a little bit, is our Company Scholars Program. This is specifically for our Cristo Rey and Jesuit schools. It's a 4-year full cost scholarship. And what I would say about this, we have a cohort of about 12 students on our campus that are selected to be in the program. So as long as you're enrolled in a Cristo Rey school and you represent a diverse community and you meet our admissions requirements, you're looking for people who make significant contributions for their community, and they embody the Jesuit values, right? So all of our Cristo Rey folks get fee waivers to apply. So definitely feel free to email me if you have any questions about attaining a free waiver. And then the Company Scholars, like I said, it's a full cost scholarship. So after you apply, that is when you will be invited to apply for the Company Scholars Program. So yeah, thank you so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.
Thank you. Appreciate getting to know more about your school. Up next, we have University of Vermont.
Wonderful. And thank you all so much for being here this evening. My name is Ashley Brown, and I serve as one of our regional associate directors in the Office of Admission at UVM. And I'm so excited to be here to let you know a little bit more about the University of Vermont. So we've got about 10,000 undergraduate students on our campus currently. We like to say that we are a strong, medium-sized institution. Average class size hovers just around 35, and our student-to-teacher ratio is 16:1. You'll notice the statistic here on the screen on the left-hand side of our in-state to out-of-state student population. It's really unique, especially for a state flagship public institution. So 73% of our students are coming from out of state, while 27% of those students are native to Vermont. So in total, our student body makes up around 47 different states and 67 different countries. So being that Vermont is such a tiny state, we do recruit all across the United States and around the world as well. We offer over 100 different programs at UVM. Some of our more popular programs include business, psychology, environmental studies and sciences, in addition to the health sciences as well. So if we have any students here who are interested in things like nursing or pre-med track, we actually have a level 1 trauma center, which is the largest trauma center north of Boston. It's right in the heart of our campus, and students involved in those academic areas of study are able to get a lot of fantastic internship opportunities as well as clinical exposures once they graduate. But broad exploration is encouraged at the University of Vermont. We definitely want students to find their passions. So we do have a lot of students taking on a double major or even just taking classes across different colleges and schools, even if a double major is not being pursued. We have a lot of distinguishing features at the University of Vermont as well. And on the surface, some of those distinguishing features can seem a little bit contradictory. So, for example, the University of Vermont is old. We were founded in 1791, and we're the fifth oldest institution in the New England area after Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth, and Brown. But we're also really new in the fact of constantly keeping pace with the changing world around us and just being ever cognizant of the changing society that we find ourselves in. It is also true that we are both big and small, so we're really big in comparison to some of those smaller liberal arts schools across the country, but also really small in comparison to some of those larger national research institutions as well. It is also true that we are both urban and open. So with us being urban, we are located in the beautiful city of Burlington. The downtown area is just about a 10-minute walk from campus where students can enjoy lots of shops and nightlife and restaurants. And with us being open, it means that our natural landscape is open. So we sit right on Lake Champlain, which is the 6th largest freshwater lake in the United States. And we're also framed on our campus by the Green and Adirondack Mountains. Experiential learning is a crucial part of a UVM education. So we consider experiential learning things like internships, research opportunities, co-op opportunities, in addition to service learning. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see some recent companies that our students have interned with, but this is by no means an exhaustive list. So we have hundreds of companies listed in our Career Center where students are able to explore internship opportunities and also other hands-on opportunities that our campus community offers students. So while we do value the lecture and the theory and the knowledge that students get from their professors inside of the classroom, we do value these experiential learning opportunities just as much. This slide just talks a little bit about our commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion on campus. We govern ourselves by our common ground, which you see listed on the left-hand side of the screen here. And we've taken that common ground a step further and integrated it into our academic curriculum as well. So before students graduate from the University of Vermont, they'll have to take a course in diversity, sustainability, quantitative reasoning, and foundational writing and information literacy as well. We also have a number of campus identity centers for students that essentially serve as safe spaces for students who have a common shared sense of identity. So we have our Mosaic Center for students of color. We have our Prism Center for any students who may identify as LGBTQIA+. We also have our Interfaith Center that celebrates all different types of spirituality, in addition to our Women and Gender Equity Center or our Wage Center. So the University of Vermont definitely values diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it is something that we hold very near and dear to our hearts. We also have a very active Hillel on campus as well, and about 20 to 22% of our students do identify as Jewish. All right, all freshman students are required to live on campus for the first 2 years at the University of Vermont, and all first-year students are required to live in one of our living and learning communities, which you see listed here on the screen. And living and learning communities are essentially a way for students to live and learn with other students who have the same shared interest as them, and also focus on an area outside of their academic area of study that they're interested in. So even though these are a first-year requirement, we do see a lot of sophomore students opting to stay in a living and learning community just because they really enjoy them. About 60% of our students do move off of campus in the junior and senior year, but you are able to stay on campus for the full 4 years if you choose to. All right, so just a little bit about our admissions process. I'll bring your attention to the top left-hand side of the screen. This area of the screen is just saying that we conduct a holistic review of applicants upon applying to the university. So taking a look not only at that academic performance, but also letters of recommendation, essays, extracurricular activities to determine if students will be a strong fit for the university. Students are also automatically considered for merit-based scholarships upon being admitted as well. Out-of-state students receive scholarships that go on upwards into $20,000 per year. So thank you all so much for being here today. I'll put my information in the chat if you all have any additional questions about UVM. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And a great reminder to use that Q&A function if you do have any questions for our presenters here at any time during these presentations. Up next, we have Middlebury College.
Excellent. So I will go ahead and pop up some information for us to all look at. My name is Shannon Palmer. I'm one of the senior assistant directors in the Office of Admissions, and I'm so excited to get a chance to share a little bit about Middlebury with you today. Just to start us off, you are going to be looking here at Middlebury's campus. There we go. Which is actually located about an hour south of our previous presenters. So we're nestled into this cute little town called Middlebury, which I'll talk about in a little bit, which is about 45 minutes to an hour south of Burlington. So we are in a rural location, super beautifully nestled into the fields and woods of central Vermont, and really wonderfully located in a location that has historically really informed a lot of students' experiences at the college. So in terms of what the academics look like at Middlebury, it is a true liberal arts and sciences college in that we're going to ask you to really explore areas that are maybe very different from each other. A huge percentage of students at Middlebury double major or do minors. So it's really easy if you're interested in something like, say, dance, but also economics, to combine those two interests and really chart a path through the college that's going to suit you and your goals and your interests. The college's natural kind of area that we're in has also been a big part of a lot of the work that the college and the community has done around things like environmentalism. Middlebury was the first college in the country to have an environmental studies program, and that's historically been a big component of a lot of students' experiences here. It's one of our most popular majors and breaks down into everything from environmental chemistry to policy work. So you can really find a niche that suits you and your interests. And the college has also been carbon neutral since 2016. So it's not just that it's an academic interest for us, it really is woven into the experience that you'll have on your day-to-day life. And that kind of carries over into what the college's relationship with our community is. Like I said, Middlebury is located in the town of Middlebury. So the college and the community have really grown up together. You're right across the street from this really vibrant, small, safe town that really incorporates the college into its community with open arms. It's super easy for our students to hop in and do things like internships, volunteer, mentor. So I think a lot of people find that their relationship with this community becomes very tight-knit because it's a place where people know you, know who you are. You're going to see the same faces, but also still see new people who are coming through every day. And I think that's a really nice balance. But that little location in the center of Vermont is not the only spot that you'll see during your time at Middlebury. So if you decide, for example, that you want to do a climate semester, or even if you want to continue for a master's degree, you might find yourself in Monterey, California at our Middlebury Institute of International Studies, which goes all the way through a master's for things like international environmental policy. But there's also 36 schools abroad that you can stop off at along the way. So if you're interested in really developing that global framework to navigate the increasingly global world that we live in, Middlebury is a good place to do that. And one of the other reasons is that the college has historically had a very strong strength in foreign language opportunities to continue studying different languages around the area that we're in. There are summer programs, but also a ton of different opportunities to learn 10 different world languages, as well as 3 kind of classic languages during the academic year. But one of the things that the college also really wants students to do is take advantage of where we are and the relationships that you have with your professors. Average class size for us runs about 16, so you're going to be working in very close collaboration with your professors and with your peers to really learn and grow and develop together. So whether that's hanging out doing research on something like sustainable aquaculture, or getting the chance to dive into something like the rise of QAnon, or Asian American themes of belonging in literature, there's a ton of different ways that you can do research and really get a chance to sink your teeth into topics that interest you and really chart your own path through the college. One of the ways that I think is most fun to do that is to take advantage of what we call J-term. Middlebury is on what's called a 4-1-4 calendar, which means you'll typically take 4 classes in the fall and 4 classes in the spring. And you'll have the month of January where you only take 1, and that's our J term. So the January term is devoted for you to do something like an intensive course. Maybe you want to take organic chemistry and do it all at once, or maybe you want to do something that's completely outside of your major and you want to take like how to become a podcaster. So it's really a good chance to explore, get your feet wet in another area, or really do some intensive work, and also take advantage of the beautiful Vermont winter to explore, go skiing at the college's snow bowl, which is our ski hill, or just like learn to bake bread or do a dance workshop or something and really take advantage of the community that develops. But one of the other ways that I think that kind of self-directed approach towards your education manifests in Middlebury education is through the FEB program. We see a cohort of about 100 to 120 students every year who enter in February instead of September. This is an option for you if you're interested, and you can indicate that in your application, which essentially means you take half of a gap year. So you have a little bit more flexibility in your kind of approach to college. And if you want more information on FEBs, there's a ton of good information on the website. We also have a bunch of different resources that are available for you in terms of like diversity and support for academic resources. So definitely check those out. And a bunch of different things that are available through the Center for Careers and Internships, including a ton of summer funding. I will leave off with admissions. We are a holistic review college. We are completely need blind in financial aid review. So that means that your financial aid doesn't factor into your application evaluation, and we will meet 100% of your calculated need. So I'll leave off with that and pass it off to the next presenter.
Thank you so much. It's fantastic learning more about Middlebury College. Up next, we have Providence College.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to spend some time with us this evening and learn a little bit more about our institutions. My name is Matt Morano. I am an Associate Dean of Admission at Providence College. We're located in Providence, Rhode Island, so the smallest state in the country. We're about an hour south of Boston and 3 hours east of New York City, depending on how fast you drive sometimes. So here are some fast facts about PC. We are just over 4,000 students, which I would call us a medium institution. I feel like 4,000 is big enough where you'll see new people all the time, but it's also small enough where that community atmosphere is certainly a big part of your everyday experience. The average class size at Providence is 20 students. And so that small classroom atmosphere makes it very easy for professors to get to know you as students, and they're very accessible outside of normal classroom hours. And I think our students really appreciate that aspect of their academic life. We're also a Division I athletic college, which is kind of rare for schools our size. And then when you add to that the fact that we're also really good in the sports that we offer, and I think that creates a really nice balance for students of that bigger school atmosphere when it comes to things like school spirit and athletics, but you're not sacrificing that small academic environment as well. There's plenty of intramural and club sports for students to become involved with, because not everyone can compete at the Division I level, but athletics is definitely a big part of campus life. We are just over 100 years old, and we are actually the only school in the country that was founded and is still run by Dominican friars. So we're a Catholic school. That's a big part of our identity as a campus and who we are. And I'll talk more about the Dominicans a little bit later on. But here is a snapshot of the current freshman class at PC. It's actually the biggest class in the college's history. We over-enrolled a little bit, so that was nice, but the college is looking to grow a little bit in terms of the student body because we've added some new majors in this most recent academic year for this fall. But as you can see from the slide, students are coming from 34 different states within the US and also 15 different countries, which is kind of cool for a school that's located, again, in the smallest state in the US. And they study a lot of different things. I mean, business is the most popular set of majors on campus, but students are pretty evenly spread out after that between the liberal arts and sciences at Providence College as well. I mentioned earlier about the Dominican friars and their influence on campus. Their central tenet is all about the pursuit of truth. Veritas is the school's motto. It's on our school seal, which you will see in probably 50 different places if you visit campus. And they believe that you can arrive at truth using both faith and reason. That's kind of the central core of the Dominican identity. So that will be present in all of your academic experiences on campus. And I think in no place is that better exemplified than the Development of Western Civilization program. That's a class that's required of every student at Providence College, regardless of what your major is or what you end up studying. And what makes it unique is that it's team taught and it lasts for all of freshman and all of sophomore year. So this is kind of the foundation for your entire 4 years at Providence, regardless of what you end up studying or majoring in, because the things that you learn in development and Western Civ come up again throughout the course of the rest of your academic journey at Providence. We're located just outside of downtown. I mean, it's Rhode Island, so you're usually not traveling more than 5 or 10 minutes to get to where you need to go. And the city is a really great resource for students, not just in terms of internships and job shadowing and practical experience, which make things very easy to integrate into everyday life, but it's also a really fun city to explore as a college student. There's over 32,000 college students that are in the city of Providence throughout the academic year. And the population normally is only just above 100,000. So having so many college students means that there's a lot of activities and a lot of things that are really specifically geared toward college age students. We're also a pretty significant amount of students conduct research on campus. It's a little over 40%. And I know that research is normally associated with larger state universities, but that's very easy for students to become involved with at Providence. A lot of times it's as simple as emailing or getting in touch with a professor after class and asking them if they can, loop you in on their current research project. So here is a list of all of the different majors and programs that we offer. The brand new additions for us this fall, which we're really excited about, are health sciences and nursing. We are building a brand new facility for both of those programs. I've seen the concept art and the drawings for those, and it's basically like a fake hospital that we're building on campus. So we're pretty excited about that addition. But the thing I'd like to mention here is that when you apply to Providence, you're always applying to the college in general. It's not specifically to a particular school or program on campus. It's just to PC as a whole. And then here's a list of the clubs and organizations. This isn't meant to be an exhaustive list, but I would say that Providence College students are very active. There's a lot going on campus in downtown Providence. And so you're going to have to try pretty hard to be bored as a student at PC, because I think students really appreciate the fact that because of our size, they can have a really big impact as students at Providence. So that wraps up my time. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll be happy to help.
Thank you so much. Great reminder about that Q&A that we have. Up next, we have Salve Regina University.
Unmute myself. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Zachary Pereira. I'm a Senior Assistant Director of Admissions over at Salve Regina University, also in Rhode Island, the smallest state representing here tonight. And a little bit about Salve Regina University. So we are a seaside campus. We are in Newport, Rhode Island, and we do, our campus does overlook the Atlantic Ocean. And we were founded in the Mercy Catholic tradition by the Sisters of Mercy. And, Salve Regina University is all about kind of clichely making the world a better place. And what our founders would say is kind of bringing more harmony and mercy and justice to the world. And they were concerned, and we are also concerned with, some important things like the environment, immigration, gender equality, anti-racism, and nonviolence. And so we do programming and offer courses around these particular critical concerns because we want our students to be well-versed in the problems of the world, and we want to produce change makers who want to go on and make a positive impact, in their community and the world at large. And here at Salve, we're really piloting what we're calling our signature Salve experience, which is a really highly intensive and personalized educational experience that really, transforms students from, coming out of high school and just kind of widens their perspective globally, and a variety of interests, and kind of instills in them this kind of mercy mission of just always, bringing compassion and mercy to everyone, no matter what they do in life. We started originally as a nursing institution, and nursing is still our most competitive program. But all in all, we have about 45 different academic programs to choose from, ranging from those, pre-professional programs, nursing, education, and social work. We also have dual degrees in engineering and pharmacy and data science. But also your traditional liberal arts programs. We are a liberal arts university, so your psychologies, your histories, political sciences, your natural sciences and chemistry, biochemistry, Here at Salve, we really push exploration. So you're really able to kind of delve into new interests, things you haven't been explored, you haven't been exposed to before. We have a really unique program in our cultural and historic preservation program. It's one of only 9 in the country. And our students actually go out onto archaeological digs and they restore paintings here in our historic buildings on campus. Our campus is actually made up of 7 Gilded Age historic mansions and estates. Kind of think Rockefellers, Vanderbilts, that kind of time period. And so our campus is really unique and really historic, and there's a lot of opportunity for students to put into practice, what they're learning in the classroom. We're also piloting a lot of, accelerated master degree programs. And so particularly in any of our business programs, psychology, our criminal justice criminology and homeland security programs, a lot of students are finding a lot of interest and utility in applying directly into those 5-year programs from high school. And our educational focus here at Salve Regina is really about building your skill set, both your hard and your soft skills. So one thing that we're pushing in this new signature experience is building your adaptive resilience. And so we all know the world has thrown a bunch at us over the past few years. And employers are really looking for team members who are able to adapt on the fly and think quickly and be resilient, be able to traverse obstacles. Also, instilling in our students the hard skills, such as, working in our laboratories right here on campus, working in our IT department, going on to your internships, undergraduate conferences, field work. As you can see, this is that archaeological dig I talked about. Also, we do field work with our social work program, student teaching and education. So we want students to be building their skills through their 4 years, not just waiting until their senior year to get that internship, and we'll help you with that as well. We're here in Newport. We're only an hour and a half from Boston, 45 minutes from Providence, 3 hours from New York. So we're centrally located. There's a lot of opportunity in Rhode Island and the surrounding area. And we're also very large proponents that learning doesn't just happen inside the classroom. I mean, no matter what you're involved in, whether it's extracurriculars, athletics, you're learning in every part of your daily life. And so we have over 70 clubs that you can be involved in, 20 varsity sports. We are Division III NCAA now in the NUMAC conference. And we do have 2 non-division varsity sports in sailing and equestrian. And we're here in Newport, just a really culturally, historically rich city, which our students really get to take full advantage of during the academic year, because it's a very touristy city in the summer, but during the academic year, it's really Salve students who are working downtown, hanging out downtown, and taking full advantage of our location. Just throwing up here some numbers for you to look at. This is an updated profile of the freshman class at Salve right now. And we display the data here by the middle 50%. So 25% of our accepted students are above that and 25% of our accepted students are below that range. So you can just take a look right there. But generally, the average GPA is somewhere around 3.6, but that middle 50% range is somewhere between a 3.3 and a 3.9. And since nursing is our most competitive program, we definitely want to see, an emphasis on a heavy science and math curriculum for that program. But we are test optional, and note that only 22% of students last year submitted their test scores. So no matter what program it is, we're going to be test optional. And I'll just throw our admissions deadlines up there. The first one coming up on November 1st. But with that, happy to answer any questions you have. Throw them in that Q&A. You can also reach out to me, put my contact information in the chat below. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Zach. Appreciate it. Last but not least, we have Wheaton College.
And let me just share my screen. And hello, everyone. My name is Wanda Sorrell. I'm the Director of Admissions at Wheaton College, and I'm so excited to be joining my colleagues here to share a little bit about our institutions, but I'm even more excited to share more about Wheaton with all of you. So a little bit about Wheaton. We are located in Norton, Massachusetts. We're about 20 minutes from Providence, Rhode Island, and about 40 minutes from Boston. We're a small liberal arts college that was founded in 1834. Our student body consists of about 1,600 undergraduate students from across the country and around the world. We have students that represent about 40 different U.S. states and territories, and a little over 40 countries represented. 22% of our students are first-generation students, and more than a quarter of our student body are community members that identify within the BIPOC community. Approximately 96% of our students do reside on campus, which complements and enhances the student experience by creating a living and learning experience and engagement outside of the classroom. Housing is guaranteed all 4 years at Wheaton, and students are housed in over 33 residence halls across campus, which also includes theme houses. As far as student life on campus, our Wheaton student community is engaged in over 120 clubs and organizations. There are 17 intramural club sports, and with the start of this academic year just underway, we are welcoming a new varsity NCAA water polo for both women and men to join our 21 additional varsity sports, 20 of which compete at the NCAA Division III level, and then our artistic swimming program, which competes in the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation at the Division I level. Approximately 25% of our student body are student athletes, but most importantly, our students are really involved in just more than just athletics. We have students that are artists from a visual art perspective. We have students that do sculptures on campus, and we also have students that are involved in the performing arts. Now, what sets us apart is our curriculum. We have a flexible and innovative curriculum. It's known as the Wheaton's Compass curriculum. It's unique in that it's entirely open and flexible and promotes an opportunity for students to explore the liberal arts at their pace. Students work closely with faculty and academic advisors to craft an educational experience that is unique to them instead of simply completing a general education requirement. In terms of general structure of the curriculum, there are only 3 requirements. The first is your first year experience course. This course is taken during your first semester of your freshman year, and it's an interdisciplinary approach to a topic co-taught by 2 to 4 professors from a variety of academic disciplines. And they rotate and integrate different perspectives within the classrooms to find commonalities around central themes. So your first year experience will also serve as an introduction to important resources and support networks on campus, such as our Filene Center for Academic Advising and Career Services and our library, to name a few. The second requirement is your sophomore experience, which will begin to expose you to hands-on applied learning through the service of research projects, internships, practicums, study abroad, or other experiential opportunities. And the third and final component of that is your major. So when you select a major, you do need to complete the requirements within that program. I like to share that because of our flexibility in the curriculum, about 30% of our students do complete a double major, and many of them have a major and several minors. Additionally, many of our students want to explore the world. About 40% of our students traditionally go abroad every year. There are over 100 programs to choose from and 50 different countries to select from. And this fall, I'm super excited that we're going to be introducing a new opportunity for first-year students where they can begin their abroad experience in their first semester at Wheaton. They'll have the option to choose between Barcelona, Spain, Sydney, Australia, Paris, France, and Lugano, Switzerland. So this is an opportunity for first-year students who want to start their adventure in another country and then come back second semester and join their class. Overall, we want students to kind of lead the way in their academic choices, and you'll have faculty and advisors that are going to be ready to provide you with support and guidance as you explore the curriculum and dive into experiential learning opportunities. In addition to that, we have about 100 different majors and minors for students to choose from. You can see from the snapshot above on the screen the options that are available to you. You have until the end of your sophomore year to declare a major, and you'll be assigned an advisor within that department. And again, about 30% of our students tend to do a double major, and that flexible curriculum allows the opportunity to consider 2 to 3 different minors at any given time. The average class size at Wheaton is about 15 to 20 students, and the student faculty ratio is 11 to 1. In addition to that, we believe in gaining that experience beyond your sophomore year. So we have what's called the Wheaton Edge. The Wheaton Edge guarantees access to funding for experiential learning for upperclassmen. Wheaton continues to allocate $1.2 million annually to fund unpaid student internship and research opportunities across the U.S. and the world. Funding goes from $3,000 to up to $5,000 at the international level. And this program aims to elevate financial stresses that would prevent students from taking advantage of meaningful internship or research opportunities. 97% of our students are fully employed in their first job upon graduating from Wheaton within 6 months. We really believe in developing you and helping you kind of find that path, whether that is going on to graduate school, being involved in public service, or engaged in national or international fellowships. Again, we're going to be there to support you and help you through that process. Everything you do at Wheaton is preparing you for your next stage in life with amazing resources through the Filing Center and an amazing support network with professors and advisors. You won't be left to your own devices to just do one thing. You're going to be challenged to do so much more. From an admissions,
I apologize. We're over time. I apologize.
okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all of our presenters here today. I know we're right at our time, but we wanted to have time for a quick question for everyone. So I'll ask our presenters to come back on camera. And if everyone could stick around for just another minute or so, thank you so much for being available to stay just a little bit after. Our question for the evening is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So we'll do a quick round robin, starting with Wesleyan.
Sure. I think, definitely look for like that community fit. Really like pick an institution that you think will challenge you not only in the classroom, but outside the classroom as well. Like think about what you want to be doing in terms of like student organizations or clubs, or maybe it's sports, or maybe it's theater. Pick something where you think that your passions could flourish, and that will give you the opportunity to do what you love, but to also try new things, because college is really a time for like exploration and growth, not just academically, but personally as well. So definitely look for plentiful opportunities in terms of like what you can get involved with.
Next is Fairfield.
Okay, my advice that I would give is don't be afraid to ask questions. We're here for a reason to help you during this process, even if that means to use us to get connected to a current student that might have the major you're interested in. Some of us have interns, student workers, things like that we can connect you with. And don't be afraid to ask for more money if you need more money, if their institution doesn't meet full need or things like that. Don't be afraid to speak up and advocate for yourself.
My advice would be just to follow your heart. This is often a daunting process for many students, but I am of the firm belief that students pretty much always end up where they're supposed to be. So, while you're going through this process, you may be feeling lots of different emotions, but, at the end of the day, just follow your gut and follow your heart, and I think you'll be okay. So, thanks.
Okay, I know this is going to sound cheesy, but my advice is be yourself, and that's what your goal should be through this process. College admissions can be a weird and wonderful time, but it can also be intimidating, and you shouldn't feel the need to fit yourself into a box just because you think it's something that we want to hear. We want to hear from you authentically, and there's going to be a college out there that will value you for you, regardless of what that person is. So don't be afraid to be yourself and be authentically yourself.
Yeah, I would say all great advice so far. I think like going off the theme of authenticity, and Nashira kind of talked about this earlier, but I think getting in touch with current students at the campuses that you're looking at is always going to be a really great resource for you. Because they're the ones that will give you the most authentic answers, right? Like people that work in admission, we're kind of drinking the Kool-Aid about our own institutions. We think all the places that we work at are pretty great. And so that, we're a little biased. So I think if you can try to connect with random students that are not really formally associated with the admission office, they're the ones that will be able to give you the best sense of what everyday life is like on that campus, both as a student and as a person.
Yeah, lots of great advice going around. I guess I would say don't, it's a very complicated process, especially for, students and families going through it for the first time. Maybe you're like the oldest kid, and so I'd just say, don't assume anything. Like, don't say, oh, the scholarship is going to be with me the whole 4 years. Like, oh, I guess I don't have to do that. No one's told me about that. Like, it's really a complicated process, and just ask questions. We're here to help. We want you to be successful. So just as a few other people mentioned just reach out to us. But yeah, don't make any big assumptions, because it could cost you in the long run.
Yeah, no, just echo everything everybody has just said. Janet said it really nicely. Be yourself, be reflective, take a moment to celebrate yourself as well. Sometimes we rush through this whole process and don't take that moment to acknowledge your accomplishments. There may have been some challenges, but there's definitely lots of successes. So do enjoy this process.
Thank you so much, everyone. I always like to add in to stay organized, keep like a spreadsheet, dates, deadlines, email addresses, whatever you need. Keep organized, because there's so many. You heard here 7 different dates and deadlines already. So you want to make sure that you don't miss out on an opportunity because you mixed up a deadline. So stay organized. There's a lot of info, but everyone here is here to help. So we really appreciate you all taking the time to share more about your institutions. And we appreciate you participants for joining in this event. Please, when you close out of this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. So we'd appreciate if you can give us some of that feedback in time. Please check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions that are happening on Saturday. This recording will be available at strivescan.com/Cristo-Rey. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Best of luck on your college search process.